Meredith Gorman here at Gillette Stadium with Patriots beat writer Zach Cox. And Zach, the Mac Jones quarterback saga continues. He was spotted at Patriots practice today, was listed as a limited participant, but there's still no word on whether or not he'll play on Sunday. How do you see this situation shaping up? Are we going to get another glimpse of Bailey Zappy again?
Well, this is now the fourth consecutive practice that Mac Jones has been limited in, but it did seem like a higher level of limited, I guess, or maybe a lower level of limited, however you want to look at that. He did seem to be moving much better today than he was in his three practices last week because he was listed as limited in those, but in the brief glimpse that reporters were able to watch, he was really moving slowly. He had a noticeable limp. He just did not look really anywhere close to being game ready. Today, again, we were only able to watch about 10-15 minutes, but he was definitely moving a lot better. He didn't have that limp anymore. He just looked a little more spry out there. Now, whether that means he can get into a live football game and operate at the level he'll need to play quarterback for the Patriots, that's a different question. We still have another couple of days before the Patriots will need to decide that, but it does look like it'll be a situation this week where they'll have to make a choice between a fully healthy Bailey Zappy and a somewhat limited Mac Jones, and it's going to be fascinating to see what they decide on that.
Absolutely. And seeing how Zappy has looked in the past game and a half, I guess you would say that he's played, do you have confidence in him continuing to be the starter until Mac's ready?
I think you have to. I think the way that he's played so far, it has to give the Patriots a lot of confidence. He hasn't come out there and lit the world on fire, and I think the people who are saying he should already take Mac Jones's job, I think that's very premature, especially when you look at the defense that he played last week in the Detroit Lions, which is probably the worst defense in the NFL, and lost about 4 or 5 defensive backs over the course of the game. So ideal circumstances for Bailey Zappy, and there's no guarantee that he'll continue to perform like this if he continues to be the starter. But I do think it at least gives them a little bit of leeway, a little bit of wiggle room. Bill Belichick said this morning that Bailey Zappy's performance so far will have no impact on the way they handle Mac Jones' recovery. But I do think that it has to give them a little bit more confidence and a little bit more patience maybe, because if he had come out here and just looked completely overmatched and not ready to play in the NFL at all, I think the Patriots would have been a little bit more motivated to maybe try to get Mac Jones back onto the field earlier. And now that he has looked capable, he has looked like he can at least hold down the fort, I think it gives them, again, a little bit more wiggle room and a little bit more patience to bring back Jones back at a more deliberate pace and not rushing back onto the field.
Yeah, Zach, one thing that I found interesting was that David Andrews said when he was asked how the team can keep that winning feeling going next week, he was asked what the team is working on, and he said that they're working on winning on third down and finishing drives because they can't rely on field goals. Again, it almost makes it seem like Zappy's going to start just based on how that was the way that the game against the Lions went. But on the other side of the ball in Cleveland, they are going to be going up against another top offense yet again. Do you think that the defense will be able to have a similar performance, or what do they really need to do to stop Cleveland's offense?
They need to stop the run. Cleveland's offense, or Cleveland's running game rather, is one of the best in the NFL. Nick Chubb, one of the best running backs in the NFL, and Kareem Hunt, his backup, isn't too shabby either. The Patriots did make some strides against the run against Detroit. They performed a lot better in that game than they did against Baltimore and against Green Bay, but you still saw some breakdowns. You still saw some explosive runs by the Lions, and this is really the key to playing this Cleveland team, because you've got Jacoby Brissett playing at quarterback in place of the suspended Deshaun Watson. Brissett's fine. He's a quality backup. He's a guy you would love to have as your second stringer, but I don't think he's the guy that puts a lot of fear in the Patriots secondary. So if the Patriots can lock down that run game the way they did for stretches in this Detroit game, I think they have a very good chance of going into Cleveland and getting a win. But even Bill Belichick admitted he called the Patriots' run defense inconsistent today, and they're going to have to be certainly more consistent if they're going to come out of there with a win.
Reporting from Gillette, I'm Meredith Gorman once again, joined by our Patriots beat writer, Zach Cox. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.